Hello, students. How are you all? Hope you all are fine. So, today, let us move to our next topic. Kindly remove your textbook, page number 18. Children, if you observe in this picture, what is there? It is a necklace. Yes, it is a necklace, a beautiful necklace. Now, what this necklace denotes? This necklace is exactly what is our today's story about the dreams and desires and envy of a young and beautiful but poor girl who borrows an expensive diamond necklace from her friend. Now, children, I want to ask you one question here that is it necessary that all the luxuries of life is entitled to only one due to the reason of birth, or or you are entitled to possess this because of your qualities? If a person works hard, he will get all his luxuries not only because of birth, but when he works hard, he will realize or she will realize the real values of the things. So yes, our today's topic is the necklace, part 1, page number 18. The necklace, part 1. Mathilde was a pretty and charming girl, born as if by an error of fate into a family of clerks. She was very beautiful and charming girl, but because of her fate, she was born in the middle class family, that is of a clerk. She had no means of becoming known, understood, loved, or be wedded to an aristocrat. Aristocrat means the family which is very affluent, which is very rich. So she had let herself to be married a minor official at the Ministry of Education. So she was compelled to marry a minor official. Now, what do you mean by minor official? That means he did not had such a big post whom she had married. She had no means, as she had no means of becoming known or to be loved, so there was no other option left. So she married a person who was working at the Ministry of the Education at a minor official level. She dressed plainly because she had never been able to afford anything better. She suffered endlessly. That means there was no end of her sufferance, feeling she was entitled to all luxuries of life. In her thoughts, she always felt that she is so beautiful, but God knows only why her fate is like this, that she did not have so much luxuries in her life. She suffered because of her shabby, poorly furnished house. Her house also not beautiful because her husband was not so rich. All these things that another woman of her class would have not even have noticed tormented her, tortured her, and made her resentful. Now see, when you yourself have the feelings that really what is going on in my life, you start you start suffering. So tormented means when somebody is made to suffer with a great mental agony or unhappiness. She was very unhappy with her life. That though she is so beautiful, then also she is married to whom? Only a minor official at Ministry of Education, and even her house was also not so beautiful or not so luxurious. She dreamed of a great palatial mansion, a big house, like a mansion with a vast rooms, big rooms, and inviting smaller rooms, perfumed for afternoon chats with close friends. So she used to dream that instead of having the small house, she should have a big house with a bigger rooms, and in the afternoon she would sit with a close friend in the perfume environment and have a chat with them, happily chat with them. Yet she had no rich dresses, no jewels, nothing, and there were only things she loved. Now these were only things she loved. She wanted so much to charm, to be envied, to be sought after. See, every moment like that, she should be charming. Everybody should envy her. Even she should have a good dress, jewelry, which nothing she had. So she was very sad. She was always in the mental agony. She was unhappy. She was always stressed out. She had a rich friend, a former schoolmate at the convent, when whom she avoided visiting because afterwards she would weep with regret, despair, and misery. She had a close friend from the time of the schools, but she avoided to go her because she would start weeping, crying, and thinking bad about herself, about a misery that she doesn't have any kind of luxury. One evening, her husband came home with an air of trump. He was very happy, holding a large envelope in his hand. Look, said, here's something for you. His husband, her husband brought a large envelope and in his hand, and he said, see, darling, there is something for you. She tore up the paper and drew out a card on which was printed the words, the Minister of Education and Madame Gorgeous Rampue request the pleasure of mine and Madame Laws's company at the ministry on the evening Monday, January 18th. It was the invitation for them. Instead of being delighted at her husband had hoped, she threw the invitation on the table resentfully. She was very sad and she don't want to go there and muttered. Muttering means what? When in a low voice you say something. What do you want me to do with that? And what do you expect me to wear if I go? She started asking questions to her husband. What he was expecting? What should I wear if I go there? He hadn't thought of that. He stammered. Why? When you have got no words now? So he was thinking that what to answer her. The dress you go to the theater in, it seems very nice to me. He stopped, stunned, distressed to see his wife crying. The reaction of the wife was what? She started crying. He stuttered. What's the matter? He had no words to say. What's the matter? Let's see, Madeline. How much would a suitable dress cost? She thought for a moment, computing the costs and also wondering what amount she could ask for without an immediate refusal. At last she answered hesitantly. When you want to say something which you know that the other person will not accept it, so we say it hesitantly. I don't know exactly, but I think I could do it with 400 francs. He turned a little pale because he had been saving that exact amount to buy a gun for hunting summer in the country near Nancy with a few friends. However, he said, very well, I can give you 400 francs, but try and get a really beautiful dress. Now see, her husband, he had saved that 400 francs for what purpose? For purpose of buying a gun. But then he sacrificed, uh, he sacrificed the amount for the rest of his wife. That means he was really a loving and a caring husband. The day of the party drew near, and Madame Loisel seemed sad, restless, anxious, though her dress was ready. One evening her husband said to her, "What's the matter? You have been acting strange these last 3 days." She replied, "I am upset. I have no jewels, not a single stone to wear. I would rather not to go to the party." Now see, again, again there was a problem with her. "You could wear flowers," he said. The husband is answering that you can wear flowers now. Now you have got dressed. You have the other option. You could wear flowers. They are very fashionable at this time of year. She was not convinced. She did not agree at all. The next day she went to a friend's house and told her of her distress. Of her distress means what? Let's see. She got dressed, but she has nothing to wear. She was very, very unhappy with this. Madman first went to her mirrored wardrobe, went where? To her mirrored wardrobe, took out a large box, brought it back, opened it, and said to Mademoiselle, "Choose, my dear." First, Madeline saw some bracelets, then a pearl necklace. She tried on jewelry in the mirror. She kept asking, "You have nothing else?" Now see, husband bought her dress, and then again she was not satisfied. She went to a friend. She started borrowing something to wear on the occasion for the party. Then her friend showed her bracelets, pearl necklace, but then also she was not satisfied. She was asking her, "Can you give me something else? Can you show me something else?" "Yes, yes, why? But I don't know what you like." Now the friend is telling, "I have more variety, but you tell me now what you like." Suddenly she discovered in a black satin box a superb diamond necklace, and her heart began to beat with uncontrollable desire. That means what? She wanted to wear that necklace in the party. Her hands trembled as she took it, shivering. She fastened it around her neck. She wore it around her neck and stood lost in ecstasy as she looked at herself. That means as if uh, whatever her desires were there, it had been fulfilled, that she'll be looking very beautiful in the party. Then she asked anxiously, hesitating, "Would you lend me this? Just this?" "Yes." "Why?" "Yes, of course." First she hesitantly asking, she asked the friend, "Can you give me this?" Then the friend says, "Yes, yes, why not? You can take it." She threw her arms around her friend's neck rapturously, then fled her with her treasure. Now she thanked her with her whole heart and then fled with her treasure. Fled with her treasure. She was very happy. Rapturously means with great joy. And then she fled away. She ran away, and because she was happy with the treasure she had got. Now it was the party time. She danced wildly with a passion, forgetting everything in the trump of her beauty and success, floating in the cloud of happiness. She was so happy with the lovely dress, with the lovely necklace, that she danced very wildly, means what? Forgetting everything happily and merrily, she danced. Madeline and her husband left at about 4 o'clock in the morning. When they were finally in the street, they could not find a cab. They walked down towards the Seine, where they found one. They were when they left at 4 o'clock, they went down towards the street to find a cab. They were dropped off at their door in the Rue des Mats, and sadly it was all over for her. As they reached their destination, it was all over. In front of the mirror, she took a final look at herself in all her glory. When she came back again, she started gazing at the mirror, and then she looked at the mirror. She was thinking about her glory, about her beauty. But suddenly, she uttered a cry. She no longer had the necklace round the neck. It was a really surprise for her that there was no necklace around her neck. What's the matter? Asked her husband. She turned towards him, panic stricken. I have no longer have Madame Forrester's necklace. He stood up, distraught. What? How? That's impossible. She was panic stricken. That means she started suddenly feeling fear that what will happen? It was a diamond necklace which my friend has given and I lost. How will I give her? How will I purchase? So even the husband, he was also very shocked. He was worried. He was disturbed. And he said, what? How? That's impossible. You're wearing. So here we conclude the first part of the necklace. Hope you all have understood how the story moves, how she had enjoyed in the party, but at the end of the party, she was surprised that she had lost. She was in distress, she was panic stricken that she had lost the necklace. We'll conclude the story in the part 2. Thank you, children. God bless you all.